Hey everyone, it's Miss Pearson. I'm just dancing, drinking some coffee. I'm excited to bring you part 2 of our digital etiquette or netiquette series. So again, these are just going to be kind of some social norms or behaviors that as teachers we really want you to show when you're working online in a formal and an informal situation. So I'd like you to start this assignment by putting your name here at the bottom, as well as changing it from my last name and the title of the assignment to your last name. Throughout this presentation, I'll put my hand up and say pause. So that'll give you a chance to pause there and respond to the assignment. And then when you play it again, I'll be at that next slide. So again, whenever I say pause, you're going to take a moment and you're going to write a written response. So we're going to start here with what exactly is digital etiquette? What does that even mean? It refers to how we express ourselves and treat others online. So it's like our internet manners. So I want you to think about, why could it be important to practice good manners online? So again, take a moment. I want you to write with proper grammar, spelling, punctuation, and I would like you to write with at least 3 complete sentences. So take a moment here, pause, and respond. So again, if you didn't pause and respond, be sure to do that. We're going to move on to slide number 3. Why is practicing good digital etiquette important? So I would like you to think about being cautious of your digital footprint. That's a trail of your online actions and interactions. So for example, the words that you post, the images, the videos. So I want you to think about what you've shared digitally since you began interacting online. So how old were you when you started having social media or interacting online for school? And think of what types of content are in your personal digital footprint. So I want you to take a minute, again, respond in 3 sentences. You can always write more than that, and pause and respond. All right, slide 4, here we go. Again, I'm going to move myself so I can read it to you. There is no separating the real world and the digital world. The digital world is a real world with real people. Very true, right? So I want you to think of a time when something was posted online and then brought up again in real life. Think of what were the consequences for that. Or you can think of an example of how your digital posts can interfere with your real daily life. So again, 3+ sentences, proper spelling, grammar, all of that good stuff. Take a moment, pause, and respond. All right, here we go, slide 5. So it's difficult to tell the tone of the writer, right, a lot of times. So we want to be careful when we use sarcasm, jokes, and irony online. I think that's why people like to use emoticons or like emojis a lot, because that gives us some type of emotion, right, where words don't really have that same impact or effect. So I want you to think about, how is hearing someone's words different from reading their words? And why do we need to be extra careful about this? So again, 3+ sentences, pause and respond. All right, slide 6. So digital etiquette applies in many areas. Emailing, instant messaging. Instant messaging, I feel like for your generation's probably direct messages, right, on whatever social media platform. Just chatting, texting, message boards, blogs, texting, posting any video, anything like that. So based on what's on that left-hand side, I want you to think about what types of online interaction do you engage with the most? Whether that's social media, school-based, maybe do a mix of both. Again, 3 sentences, pause, and respond. All right, slide 7. I want you to think about digital etiquette on websites and platforms that we use mainly for school. So you don't have to write this section in complete sentences on the left-hand side. Take a moment to think about what websites you use mainly for school. And then here on the right, again, 3+ sentences. Think about why we should be careful about the way we conduct ourselves on specifically school-based platforms. So take a moment, pause, and respond. All right, slide 8. This is digital etiquette for school use. So I'm going to move myself once more. I want you to think about who your teachers and classmates are. So maybe type some names here on the right-hand side of some teachers that you remember. Don't worry about putting classroom numbers. Think about the where. So think about some platforms that me or other teachers have assigned you. So for us, it's going to be mainly Canvas, Google Hangouts, but maybe other teachers use different platforms, so you can type some here. Think about when regular school hours are, right? So what did we say our regular school hours are? From like 7 to 3 or 7 to 4. But I want to see what you have to say here. And why is it important to continue to be respectful and treat your teachers and classmates the way you would treat them in person? That's going to be your why. So take a moment, pause, and respond. You guys are doing a great job. We're almost done. So here on the left-hand side are going to be some digital etiquette must-dos and reminders. Number 1, keep it short, specific, simple. Cannot stress that enough. Use your manners. Teachers always love to hear please and thank you, and so do your classmates. Greet your audience. So say someone's name, get to know each other's names. Even though we may never see each other face-to-face if you're remote, it still means a lot, and it's very impactful to use people's names. Keep it on topic and appropriate. Make sure it's absolutely necessary. So can you troubleshoot and find an answer on your own? Can you ask in our class discussion board on Canvas a question? Did someone else have a similar question that was answered? Think about those things. Proofread, spelling, punctuation, capitalization, grammar. Again, this is a formal school setting, so really use all of those skills that are, at your disposal. Avoid abbreviations, slang, emoticons. I know sometimes, again, we talked about not having tone and you want to use a smiley face, but again, it's not the most formal or appropriate. So I'd like you to select one of these must-dos, one of these reminders from the left-hand side, and I want you to put it right there in that box. And then I want you to think about, why is it important? Why is it important to have that specific skill? Again, 3+ sentences, pause, and respond. All right, great job, guys. So we're coming into formal. So how do you write a message or a post to ask for help? Same thing as an email, right? From part 1. Give a specific greeting to someone. Try to use their name. State the specific problem you have. Give a specific question. Throw something out there for someone to answer. Say please and thank you, write in complete sentences. Pretty basic. So I'm not going to read these to you. I'll give you a moment on the side, but these are just examples of asking a teacher for help and how you would ask a peer for help. I'm going to move myself here for a moment, and I want you on the bottom to think of 2 examples where you would use formal etiquette or formal netiquette to ask for help. So would you email? What would be considered a formal versus informal situation? Again, pause and respond. I'm jamming to my music. Okay, here we go. So we're going to practice here. Miss Frizzle, you're going to try to ask her for help on a project that you have for climate change you're researching. You're unsure if you should include the work of an activist in your project. So I want you to make a fake email asking Miss Frizzle for help and try to include those 5 different traits on the side. So again, you should be writing 3+ sentences, pause, and respond. All right, almost done. You guys are doing great. So we're going to now write a message or post to provide praise or feedback. It's really important to remember with our growth mindset that if someone has some constructive criticism for us, it's not saying that we're a bad person, but we want to make sure that we're taking that feedback not personally, right, that we're using it to just better ourselves. So we want to, again, include our 5 traits from the side there. Right below me is how you provide praise to a peer. So not saying anything negative, all positivity there. Wanda, I really enjoyed listening to your ecosystem speech on Flipgrid. I loved how you connected such a broad topic like the ecosystem to us and made it relatable. Great. I love the bottom example below it. I think that's a perfect way to give constructive criticism. You're not going to have something positive to say all the time, and you might want to help out your classmates and give them something to work on. But here's how to state it in an appropriate way. Ralphie, I can tell you put a lot of effort into your speech. However, I was hoping you would elaborate more on the different types of ecosystems. I was really intrigued. They said something positive, and they layered the kind of constructive criticism or critique under it. So that's a great way to do that. So again, in that response box, I want you to think about an example where you would use formal netiquette to provide feedback. So like, would you do that on Canvas? So think of maybe an example of how you would do that. Take a moment, pause, and respond. All right, so we're coming up on our practice now. All right, so again, 5 traits to the side. In this left-hand box, you want to praise a classmate, Arnold, for his amazing presentation on the solar system. You thought he included an amazing variety of details. How would you write that? Next, you really enjoyed Kesha's interactive project on the rainforest. However, you wish she had examples of real rainforests in her project. So I want you to work on typing a positive or like a praising type of comment. Maybe this is like in a discussion board. And then I want you to practice giving a constructive criticism here, again, maybe in a discussion board kind of setting. Take a moment, pause, and respond. All right, here's some informal. So maybe this is a message or again, a post. I think I like to err on the side of formal versus informal, but they share, as you see, the 5 main traits. So this is how you would respond to a peer, formally and informally. So let's say you ask a question and someone responds to you. Hi, Arnold. Yes, Ms. Frizzle said we need to present our entire speech on Flipgrid. A great example of an informal response would be, thanks, Phoebe, for letting me know. You said someone's name. You said thank you. It doesn't need to be more than that. Perfect. All right. Oops, I almost forgot. You need to practice. So before we move on, I want you to think of 2 examples where you would use this informal etiquette, pause, and respond. All right, try to jump into this slide a little soon. So again, we're going to do some more practice. Again, with your 5 traits below, I want you to respond to Ms. Frizzle's answer to your question. Don't forget to thank her. Take a moment, read it, pause, and respond. We are almost done. You guys are doing a fantastic job. Here's some reminders and reflections. So here's your must-do list. I want you to pick 3 traits from that must-do list on the left-hand side that you think that you personally need to work on. You don't have to type any more than what those 3 are. So pick your 3 from the list, type them, pause, and respond. All right, now we're going to help out Arnold. He's having a tough time today, right? He's still learning to practice good digital etiquette. As Ms. Frizzle, so you're putting yourself in the teacher's shoes, how would you ask him to fix his posts? Okay, the first one has been done for you. He said, what is the homework? I don't know where to find it. So I would say Arnold should avoid using slang such as IDK for I don't know. He should also use complete sentences and proofread for errors. Lastly, he forgot to address the teacher. He didn't say, hello, Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so. And he wasn't specific about which homework he can't find. And he didn't say please or thank you. So take a moment, pause, and respond to the other 2 examples below. All right, this is the fun part. We're going to now fix Arnold's mistakes. So again, he has his 3 mistakes on the left-hand side. I want you to think about, right, those traits, those 5 traits that we use when we respond, and I want you to fix them on the right-hand column right here. So take a moment, again, pause, and respond. We are almost done. So let's take a moment and review. So before you ask a question to your teacher, really keep this in mind. Is it necessary? Is it specific? Was I respectful with my language? Is it appropriate? Can I answer this question myself? That's a big one, right? Can I find the answer on my own? Did I proofread? It takes a minute to proofread, right? Did I avoid abbreviations, slang, emoticons, emojis, bitmojis, whatever you use, right? So really keep that in mind. Now, the last part, the last thing you have to do before you turn this into Canvas, I want you to recap in your own words, right here. In your own words. You're not copying and pasting, right, from previous slides. You're putting it in your own personal words. What is digital etiquette or netiquette? What is it? What does that mean? Next, why is it important to practice good digital etiquette? Why should we care, right? Why is it important to us? What are 3 things you should remember before you post? We talked about 5 traits, right? Just now, we just did the recap. What are 3 of the 5, right? Lastly, where and when should you practice good digital etiquette? What's the parameters for it? Take a moment, pause, respond. All right, great job, guys. If you got this far, you have finished. I hope this wasn't too boring for you. I think it's really important. Please make sure to submit this into Canvas. Please remember to actually put these into practice. We'll be using these different must-dos and these different traits throughout the year. So thank you, guys, and I will see you later.